Hey everyone, welcome back to Runs and Acceleration with your host Ruhan and Akash. We know it's been a little bit, been kind of busy and stuff like that, but we're back just a couple days before World Cup is about to really kick off, and so we thought we would kind of go into a deep dive into some of the teams and really look at where some strengths, some weaknesses, what we're kind of feeling, maybe some potential favorites or something like that, maybe potential dark horses, as I love to say. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. Ruhan, where do you want to start? Let's go with some team. Let's start there and let's kind of analyze it from that.
Okay, let's start from a funny note. Let's start from Australia. They had English based on some good performances in the Big Bash over the years.
Yep.
Plays really well for Sydney Sixers, and he ends up injuring himself on a golf course. So he's out. Cameron Green is in, who actually was very good against India in the series series in India just about a month ago. So that's good signs for them. Warner is back in form. I'm sure Maxwell will fire. And it's just a matter of time. I think they have a good team, solid squad, defending champs in their home ground. So they seem good.
Yeah, I'm excited for Australia. I think home team, everything. I think they have a pretty balanced squad. Very much has to be said. I think that a lot of I'm expecting good stuff from people like Josh Hazelwood, Mitchell Stark. Your kind of usual suspects recently. So definitely looking forward to some good innings from David Warner, possibly Steve Smith, maybe. I think they've got some young talent now in Cameron Green that's coming in, who's just an absolute like just I think can really just cement his position on the team and really start to have a really blossoming career. So I'm excited for Australia. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I don't know who to tackle, honestly. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna pick England. Let's like Australia. You have to go England next. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a mixed like feeling about England. I think that this whole like thing that's been going on in the test team and stuff like that. I feel that they have good signs, but then they also like struggle in like certain games like that. Um, I I don't know really how to make of this squad. I think the way that they've been going is I really will have to say that the way English recruitment has been going has been I think has they've taken a much more different approach as in previous times and really giving guys like extended runs. Maybe on more of the test side things with like guys like Zach Crawley or Ollie Pope who maybe have not proved themselves enough. But still giving them long goals, I would say like that. I don't know. How are you feeling for England in your opinion?
Yeah, the biggest issue, and I think we've covered this maybe before as well, is the fact that they have split coaches. So not
Mhm.
just split captaincy across formats like it used to be,
Yep.
but it's the fact that their white ball coach is someone different, and it's not Brendan McCullum, who ideally would be perfect for
Yep.
this scenario. He even coached the Trinidad and Tobago team to an undefeated season in the
Mhm.
Caribbean Premier League when Pollard was captain. Just, I think, a year ago.
Mhm.
We remember even mentioning that performance because it was amazing.
Yep.
So I think they've missed out on a few tricks there. Could have really benefited from his input in this particular format.
Yep.
Yes, he's been amazing with the baseball theory in test matches, but could have really made something. So England, as usual, have the players, have the ability, but with their will they fire on the day? That's always the question.
Yeah.
But
I
I
think
think
it's yeah. No, go ahead.
moving on to a couple of teams who are the dark horses. So Sri Lanka had to go through the qualification stage.
Mhm.
Lost to Namibia. That was by 50 runs, not just like a last run stand
Yep.
by like 5 runs or something. So, but they have qualified, and depending on which group they're in, I think both they and West Indies have one advantage, which is they're coming in with more practice of these pitches, and some of these pitches are also drop-ins. So having that knowledge is gonna help. On the other hand, most of the warm-up matches for the teams in the elite groups had been cancelled because of the weather in Australia. Which brings me to the match on Sunday, Melbourne India versus Pakistan, time to get some revenge, but chances of rain 80%. Even if we don't get rain, should we talk about our opponents first, the fierce Pakistan team?
Yeah, I think I am personally actually I think Pakistan have all the assets to win it. I think this is a damn talented Pakistan squad. I think there's so much conversation that's going on with Babarazam and Mohammad Rizwan. I think they are the
Yeah,
most destructive opening combo in world cricket right now in T20
definitely.
without question. You've got I think both of them can play different kinds of cricket. They can go really hard in the beginning. They can start slow and then kind of build up big, huge partnerships. But I think that's where the good things and also the bad things with Pakistani batting is that usually when they get out, they start to falter a little bit, and I think they start to lose their way, especially when you kind of creep into that middle order a little bit. So I'm really curious to see kind of how they go. But man, the bowling, um, jeez,
Shaheen is back. ICC posted a video on him against Afghanistan. He broke one person's leg from
yeah,
his Yorker, and he's devastating. And that's he's swinging it big time in Australia, and with his speed, left arm,
yeah. I think that's honestly, I get kind of like a baby Wasim Akram kind of vibes from him. On like really like it's kind of scary. I'm really happy to see him back. I like honestly that injury kind of I was really kind of worried about that, and but now see him back and now just absolutely firing. I hope that he can just have a nice tournament, stay healthy,
yeah,
and make sure that they're managing him properly. I think that's one thing that where if you're coming back into the squad and stuff like that without having too many kind of games and stuff like that, you could potentially get injured again, something like that. We don't know. Maybe have like those kinds of off moments or something. So I'm really excited. I think Pakistan, in my opinion, I think they go in as absolute favorites. I would say like that to win it. Really, I like everything is in their favor. I think it's their tournament to lose. Really, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it was kind of their tournament to lose last time as well. Semi-finals against Australia, they had it in the bag. Australia were 4 wickets down, near 100 of the last
Yeah,
10 overs. It was again the traditional, sorry, not traditional, but trademark Pakistani fielding that kind of let them down with some simple catches, run-outs missed, overthrows. So I think if they their fight is not really just against the other teams, but it's also against their self,
yep,
their complacent selves, which has hurt them in the past. That being said, they also have this one last player I like to mention, which is Nawaz,
yep.
the new guy. He not only bowls well, but he's a gun in batting.
Mhm.
So, good team for them. Like you said, I
Yep.
think they're probably the favorites. They won the
Yeah.
Tri Series in New Zealand too, which kind of brings me to a dark horse, New Zealand.
Yeah, I think New Zealand, I honestly I think that's one thing that's kind of surprising. I will have to be honest, I have seen a little bit of a decline in like cricket from New Zealand, sorry. And and I'm trying to almost like question why like that's happening. And I think it's almost that like your core of your Williamsons, your Ross Taylors, I almost think they're now starting to get out of their prime, getting a little bit older. That reliance on them is kind of disappearing. Your Bolts, your Southies, all those people are starting to kind of disappear from the team. So I think the core tenants that we know of New Zealand cricket that have been there pretty much for the last decade are all kind of now starting to disappear. And I personally think they're in a massive rebuild. I definitely believe and definitely like very really strong that they will bounce back and find form again. But I'm just not like I just don't think this is their tournament really. It's going to be a tough one for them. But let's see what happens. Yeah.
Same, would you say similarly for Afghanistan? Because unlike the last World Cup, the thing is, these pitches ultimately won't help spinners, and Afghanistan batsmen are not known for their technique, which you still kind of need to hit on Australian pitches.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. They're not pitches where you can score pretty much from ball one. Really, you really need to start building your innings. I know places like Adelaide or something like that. It's a Perth even for that matter. You're going to have to take time and stuff. And I don't think I very honestly, I don't think the batsmen in Afghanistan are showing that enough maturity yet. And I don't think you can depend an entire tournament on someone like Rashid Khan to kind of get you all your wickets and pretty much do the work for you. But I am expecting them to win some good games. I definitely think that they have a chance of winning some, maybe like maybe get some like kind of pretty good teams and stuff like that. So I'm kind of curious to see Afghanistan how they will go. I think this will be a good gauge for them and their future also, for looking at recruitment and how they want to kind of approach like kind of future kind of tournaments and series when going forward. Yeah. So let's get to it. I think we've been putting it off because I think we so India. I don't know. I give you my thoughts first, and then you let me know. But like I'm like pretty indifferent. I'm like little mixed about this. I personally think that there's some incredible players that we have on our team.
Yeah.
Specifically, I really have to mention Suryakumaryadav. The person that he's just batting out of his skin. Absolutely. Just incredible. I think he I don't know if he's passed. I don't know if he's got to that number one ranking yet, but I definitely think he's probably gonna get there. He's just too good right now. Way too consistent. I think that's one thing that also though he's just not just like scoring the occasional 80, then maybe not making a couple of runs, though he's like consistently getting half centuries and stuff like that and scoring very, very important runs for India. So I think, if he doesn't have a good tournament, which I seriously don't think is going to happen, then I think India are really, really going to struggle. I'm also like really honestly, I know we've kind of criticized Kohli a little bit like the past like that, but he had that century, he came back, so I think he'd be good. I'm looking forward to seeing if he could actually like really carry good form and like
Yeah.
be that batsman, be that leader in the batting. I'm quite interested in that. You got some good players in Dinesh Karthik. I like the addition of people like Deepak Hooda on the team.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
not sure about like people like Rishabh Pant and stuff like that. I think it's just like I'm just not seeing that kind of form that he's having, like saying like Test cricket or something like that. But yeah, a lot of uncertainties, and I think yeah. What do you think about for India?
Yeah, so I think to start off, definitely you got a moon over sky. So yeah, same thing. Like some people, I think, as there was an article you shared with me a few days ago, which was he's probably Surya Kumar has dominated international T20 cricket like no one ever has.
Yep.
Which in a way I see. Yes, he's already number two in the ranking, and the guy made his debut like post COVID,
Yeah.
like just when COVID started, like no, like after 2021 March, he made his debut. He's already got to more than 1,000 runs. Kohli right now is at 3,000 something, and he's the all-time highest scorer. Him, Rohit Sharma, and Guptill. That tells you how much he's scoring. And every series, he's already got man of the series twice or thrice.
Yep.
He hit one of the best hundreds ever.
Mhm.
He's hitting a 50 almost every single game at a strike rate of nearly 180. That's his career strike rate for 1,000 runs. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
But then the issue is the one day he doesn't perform, who's going to step up?
Yeah.
Rohit
Exactly.
honestly has. Rohit has kind of been up and down.
Yep.
Kohli got his 100, but again been up and down in the home series and recently. So,
Yeah.
but Australia is always a happy hunting ground for him. So if he can just, like you said, because he kind of needs to, it has to be a top four because Hardik Pandya has come back amazingly as an all-rounder. So I'm not worried about that. But if we lose 4 wickets in the first 10, 15 overs, we can't see ourselves getting a score of 180 to 200 every game, which you kind of need,
Yep.
not simply through Hardik and DK the whole time.
Yeah.
And our batting is kind of lean because we are missing Jadeja.
Yeah.
So we are playing Aksar or we'll play Chahal. If you play Chahal, then you have one guy just gone.
Yeah.
Ashwin can bat a bit. So I in fact think moving on to the bowling now, I think Ashwin needs to play for his experience, his
Yeah.
ability to contain, and Aksar can be your wicket taker.
Yeah.
Chahal, yes, he's been good, but Chahal has a lot of liabilities in the field. His batting, obviously. So if you're very confident in top six, you want to try Chahal. Yes, he's a good bowler, but he's also a leggy. So on his day, he will go.
Mhm.
Right. So that's a risk to take. We are missing our best bowler in Bumrah. Um, we've had Shami come back, did really well against Australia in the warm up, but
Yeah.
he's he's not the bowler for this format, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, he's gonna get hammered because of his pace in some games, definitely, whether
Yep.
in the power play or at the death. So I think it really depends on people like Bhuvi, who's also been off the boil. But the thing is, people like Bhuvi and Harshal Patel being off the boil could be good, that they come good at the right stage.
Yep.
So, in my opinion, Arshdeep, I'm confident he's blossoming into a great international cricketer.
Mhm.
And I'll just like to say that I think one person we missed a trick with was getting Umran Malik, express Jammu Kashmir pacer.
Exactly.
Even even if he was going to go, at least unlike Shami, he had 10 more kilometers an hour speed to kind of extract that bounce extra pace. And
Yeah. If
if
any,
whatever Shami can do, he could have done.
Yeah, if anything, it could be there almost for like an intimidation factor. And you know, I know that like he had that one good game in Ireland, then he kind of faltered a little bit in that other game against them. I think in that second or third game, I want to say. But you know, I definitely think that he should have been in the squad at least just to
Exactly.
be around and maybe play a game or something like that against maybe even like an opponent that like India is more supposed to win against. I would say that would have been good to see. But it is what it is. We don't make the squads; they do. But but I will say this. You know, you mentioned this point about suryakumaryadav being in like probably the best form, and I want to touch upon this because you know I was thinking about that. Like I was trying to look back at the history of T20 cricket. Even though we don't have that much of a big sample size, I mean, we're like that. But I'm trying to look at cricketers who've changed the game who are changing the game so much like that. I think the only people that would probably come in rivalries like say like Chris Gale, or maybe Lasat Malinga, Sunil Narayan / Sebastian Khan, somewhere around there. I think they probably like influenced T20 probably the most, I would say. And I think Surya Kumar is just maybe like just carrying the torch of being, I think, this leader for India like now and possibly for T20 for T20 cricket. And I think that's just super exciting to see. We've
Definitely.
we've absolutely I think ever since I want to say 2018, 19, somewhere around there when he'd first joined Mumbai, we'd seen that Mumbai Indians, we saw that talent in him to play very mature innings, to really
Yeah.
be that person to stick in there, score runs. And for me, like we both prefer people who are going to be your consistent run scorers instead of
Yes.
and always going to be running to the wickets like that, looking to look for innovative ways to always get runs. And I think he ticks the box all the time. You know, I personally like I would like someone if someone's scoring like 80 off like say 30 or something like that, but only doing that once every like couple games or something like that, while he's doing like a 50 off 30, something like that. I'd much more go for him because he's always bang for runs. So I'm excited. I think as I said, as we were both saying before, I think I think this is going to be his really should be his tournament. I would be really surprised if he's not the highest run scorer. Really, I think it's between
Right.
Rizwan, Babarazam, or him. Maybe could throw. Try to think. I don't know. I
I
don't
don't think
know.
any of the other lineups are structured that way that they need a top
Yeah,
scorer, right? So
exactly. So that's what it's
it's
like.
usually the Asian squads.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely like it's gonna be fun. I'm also like kind of interested to see some of the teams that you know they don't get to play that too much of international cricket. You know, kind of come in and like for example, like the Netherlands, they qualified, and seeing what they can do. Maybe if they can maybe pull off a win here and there, create some upsets, that'd be really cool to see. So yeah, definitely, we're gonna be keeping a really close eye on this tournament, and we'll keep you guys posted, and probably gonna be doing some more stuff about the World Cup, and maybe giving a little bit of a
Yep.
mid tournament update and kind of our thoughts kind of after like the winners and the finals and stuff like that. So definitely keep it
Definitely.
for that, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks for joining us. All right,
Thank you.
bye.